With undeniable style in everything it does, The World Ends With You Final Remix fits beautifully as a handheld on Switch in its updated form. While its DS trailers made it already look good enough thanks to its choice of art style, the fresh coat of paint on Switch makes the experience play out smoothly with its comic book-esque visuals that pop off the screen, with its own control schemes that make playing with the Switch's touchscreen a quick and fun battle experience. If you're open to playing with different control styles and experiencing a story with a colorful style and dialogue on the go, The World Ends With You Final Remix is a great game to discover in its Switch version for new players like myself and for those who want to see the additions to its world. In the colorful city of Shibuya, The World Ends With You follows protagonist Neku, who finds himself suddenly in an alternative version of the city with a player pin in hand. This player pin signifies he's been entered into the Reapers game, a 7-day game where players complete missions given to them by people called Reapers, and if they don't complete them, they face being erased. To be able to fight monsters called Noise, despite his general dislike of people, he's forced to partner up with another player to be able to fight, and with his new partner and the interesting people he meets on the way, he continues in this underground version of Shibuya to find out how he got there and to try and win the game before facing erasure. The backdrop of this interesting setup is Tetsuya Nomura's vivid take on Shibuya, Japan, which you wouldn't realize was on DS when first looking at it thanks to its visual upgrade for Switch and its wonderful comic book-esque animation style, and the world pops off the screen whether in story moments, exploring, or in battle. Whether in handheld or docked, the world's consistent visual style really brings everything together in this experience, and it's a treat to look at if you're a fan of stylish games like Persona, complete with a ridiculously cool soundtrack. The World Ends With You also features minimal voice acting, which I surprisingly ended up liking a lot thanks to how well the dialogue for each character and scene is written. The characters speak just as colorfully as the world they're placed in, with the cast being teenagers meaning plenty of slang and abbreviations in their speech that make them come to life, and the emotional growth of each one makes sure to mix in humor into its quirky dialogue that makes them more likable in some sense. As it was my first time playing The World Ends With You, its outlandish characters and its story, and the overall feeling of the world made me love this story in general. The characters aren't afraid to throw attitude and express themselves, and are refreshingly candid about all the story events as they play out. The way The World Ends With You presents deeper concepts while also not taking itself too seriously made it easy to connect with, and partnered with everything else in audio, script, and visuals to bring it all together. I enjoyed playing with this cast in this version of Shibuya and understanding why this game was so beloved on DS in the first place. Style also extends into the battle system, which stands out when compared to other JRPGs thanks to the way it uses different control styles. Attacks are done by either tapping or making different motions with a cursor, which is done by either using the touchscreen or motion controls with just one of the Joy-Cons, with the use of 2 Joy-Cons being saved for when playing co-op with a friend. There are a few different styles of attacks that can be done with different attack pins, such as dragging empty space to use most elemental pins, swiping the screen as slashing motions to hit enemies in different ways, and also hurling obstacles at enemies by picking them up and dragging them. The active battles also have its own special attacks as well, in the form of a fast card tapping sequence that changes depending on who Neku is fighting with at the time, that requires some fast tapping to get the best damage multiplier, and I had a lot of fun with the combination of the regular battle flow and the fast-paced special attacks to keep battles interesting in its own unique system. As for the controls, since there's a choice between playing with one Joy-Con or using the touchscreen, it is quite different to other JRPGs I play with a controller. I started off trying to use both Joy-Cons as usual, but then realized the game was only using one. So I then played with the Joy-Con and wrist attachment for my first 10 hours while I was getting footage, and found it surprisingly enjoyable after a few hours of getting used to things. Dragging fire onto enemies while pointing with the Joy-Con was an interesting new experience, and I liked how the pointer could be adjusted so that I could play with my wrist at any angle. It isn't without problems though. I specifically avoided using slash pins as the pointer doesn't give the right amount of precision to use these well, and this became particularly hard when playing with characters like Joshua, whose special attack relies on being built up with that kind of attack. After my first 10 hours, I switched to touchscreen and found it much better, and think this is how The World Ends With You should be played on Switch. With finger tapping, getting combos is as fast as it needs to be to get a good multiplier going, and I could finally use all my pins properly for every dragging, slashing, and tapping pin I needed and wanted to use. And although I didn't hate the other method, it was definitely a better fit for anything fast that needed to be done in its active system. So with that in mind, while docked isn't completely unplayable if you use the right pins, the handheld mode gives the precision needed to play the harder battles and was much more fun in this unique battle system. And with my Joy-Cons off the console while playing in tablet mode, I was able to enjoy swiping enemies and tapping in special attacks at home and on the go, and had no issues with the control scheme going forward. Pins are the beginning of some of the interesting systems in The World Ends With You, and I really enjoyed discovering these and the way they customize the game, along with the extra content included in this edition. The pin system serves as a unique skill system for battles, as well as a great collectible, with over 300 to collect through finding them in stores, evolving them in the story, or in battles. Battle difficulty also includes its own level of customization for gaining goods and making things more challenging, thanks to being able to change the difficulty mode along with Neku's current level, with the level changes also resulting in better drops if you put it low enough. It was a fun way to try and get different rewards for Reaper quests and otherwise. Shops also have a leveling system, with some item abilities being locked until you become friendly with the staff. And there are other systems in the game, such as feeding characters, giving them clothing, and affecting brand ranks in town with what you wear and use that make customizations available in almost every part of the experience. And it was fun to play with these both at my leisure and for different quests as I played with these in the story. Although the main story campaign, including new content, was about 20 hours long, with all these different systems of collectibles and new ways to try playing, I'm sure there's plenty more I could do the next time I explore its world. And for players who want more time with the game, or for those who have already played The World Ends With You and want something new, the post-game of Final Remix is important as it features a new story episode called A New Day. A New Day is an extra story mystery featuring a cute-looking new character called Coco, and it added extra challenges to the combat system while showing off the fun characters I grew to love in the main story again, and left me hoping we see more of this game and series someday. The extra content doesn't really add anything crazy to the main story other than some more fun gameplay, but as a new player of the series, it was a nice small experience to leave me excited for more, and with its enjoyable story and cool looking world, it's something I hope we see more of sometime soon. As a DS classic on Switch, with a modern feeling story and stylish world, The World Ends With You Final Remix made its gameplay and characters feel fresh, new, and fun in its unique and cool world. The touch mechanics were a fun new way to use my Switch, and if you can get past the different control style, its pen system and others are worth diving into with the way it lets you customize playing in its colorful world. This stylish game full of sights and characters that pop off the screen and had me engaged in the growth throughout the story is clearly a DS favorite for a reason. And if you're like me and had been putting off trying it until the Switch release, I think its mysterious version of Shibuya is well worth trying if you think it looks interesting and don't mind playing in a different way than usual. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you will try The World Ends With You Final Remix, and if you have, what did you think of it? You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, or you can check out the blog at jrpgjungle.com where I do everything I do here, but in written form. And you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at jrpgjungle. Links to those will be in the description below, along with links to where you can pick up The World Ends With You Final Remix. Until next time, thank you, bye!